All right. Sorry, there was something extremely weird going on, so I had to restart it. And I'm almost wondering if it was my fault, like if I grabbed the wrong link and accidentally shared, because it has a presenter link and then it has a audience link. And so I'm wondering if in my rush to get, if I accidentally sent the wrong one. Okay, updating this so I can see everybody. Can everybody still hear me okay? You are the whole screen. Oh yeah, that's because I haven't changed it to my slides yet. Let me put those in. I have to start all over again. So it'll just take me a second here. All right, so it says it's going to take it a minute to get my slides up, which is fine. But hopefully we don't have any more weirdness with that. And again, I think this is just to be expected. Sometimes with new tech, there's bugs and things to work out. And, you know, we've definitely found some of those bugs. Oh my gosh, I see it doing it again. Crystal, how did it add you as a presenter? This is weird. Someone mentioned, I think I saw it in the chat too, something about, it also has you as my name. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna have to do a Zoom link. This is crazy. This is not supposed to happen. Right? Maybe if I just share my my slides, we'll just go anyway. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, Crystal, do you care that you're showing? I don't know if you can turn yourself off of there. I have no idea why it's doing that. It's definitely a Kartra glitch. Like, it is not supposed to do that. We have a lot of good stuff to go through today, so, you know, if you guys see anybody else pop in, maybe just let them know in the chat how to undo themselves. But I don't want to take too much time on that, so I'm going to go ahead and just, oh my gosh, it's going to be so weird and so distracting. Let's go ahead and just jump in. And then if you see people jump in and they're confused, if you can let them know in the chat, because I know that they're not doing it on purpose. Like, they have no idea why they're popping in there. So, all right. So today we're going to do a quick recap of day 3. And of course, we have to announce our prize winners. We're going to go over how to create your solutions delivery vehicle. So yesterday we made a huge problem list, right? How many of you did the homework even if you didn't post it? And whoever is unmuted, if you could please make sure at the top of your screen, everybody mute yourself. Because again, I can't even see who it is. So feedback for Kartra for sure. Me, yes, did it. Okay. So the problem list you are going to need for today. So the problem list, if you haven't done that yet, you're definitely going to want to get that done. And I uploaded my slides from yesterday. So just on my slide, I had like 18 examples for you to go ahead and get started. So then today what we're going to talk about is how to create a solution for every single problem on your list, and then how to determine how to trim and stack your offers. So how to figure out which solutions are actually high value that you want to offer. And then we're going to talk about how to actually write out the offer and all these different levers that we can use to enhance your offer. So does that sound good? Is everybody excited? This is like, it's all coming together. So yesterday we talked, Elaine says, I don't even have a button to unmute or a video option. At the very top of your screen, right? It says at least mine has a picture. That means you guys shouldn't. It's only the people who accidentally somehow it's treating them as presenters. Oh, here we go. Did I turn my own audio off or did I turn off the other person? Can you guys still hear me? Can you hear me? Let me know if the chat, if you guys can hear me. I can hear you. Okay, perfect. All right. So we talked about the difference between price and value. So price is what you pay, value is what you get, right? And then we talked about Alex Hormozy's value equation, where on the top of that, we have our dream outcome, which is why they really buy, right? Like the vacation, what people actually want. And our goal is to increase that. Then the other top part of the equation is the likelihood of achievement. So the more that we can convince them or get them to believe that they're going to achieve the result we're talking about, the more likely they are to buy and the more value that they're going to see. On the bottom of the value equation, we have effort and sacrifice and time delay. So in other words, the faster we can deliver things, the better, and the less effort and sacrifice on the part of our client, the better. Does that make sense? And so after that, then you all created your list of problems. And here is our homework winner. So I went ahead and I just picked someone today. There weren't nearly as many on today's. So still go ahead and do that if you guys want to be entered to win the grand prize for the week, which we have almost 500 people. So the grand prize is almost $500. So if you didn't do your homework assignment, you still have time to get it in, get your day 3 homework posted. But congrats, Melinda. I don't know if you are on here live or not, but she put her dream outcome for clients, profitable franchise locations, time freedom. She went into her different levels. And then I liked her top 5 problems: managing employees and their payroll. And then she has some specific ones: managing expenses, having clear P&L to see where the money is going, the actual profit margin, time constraints with owning multiple locations, not enough time or knowledge on the subject to take care of bookkeeping, and no knowledge of accurately documenting assets in the book. And I hope that what you saw from the homework assignment is that there's a lot of things you can come up with. So like I started working on mine just for a flooring subcontractor this morning. And I had a list of 34 items, just thinking about one individual client. That doesn't even cover like e-commerce clients or all these different niches. So that's definitely going to be a big thing for today. So make sure we get that done. Now, with your first offer that you create, you want to make sure that you over deliver. So I think this is sometimes hard for people, but just think of it. This is a brand new offer. Whatever it is that you're going to create and present to people, we want to give them tremendous value. We want them to feel like, I can't believe I got this amazing deal. And we want them to leave you awesome, awesome testimonials. So that way you can leverage those to go out and find more clients with it, right? And we also want you to know if your offer is good or not. So if you don't have anybody buying it and testing it and giving you feedback, then you don't know if it's any good. So my recommendation, I'm a big believer in under promise, over deliver anyways, but with the way that we're structuring offers, I don't really feel like it's an under promise thing that we're doing here, right? Like we are giving them the big dream. And so I want to make sure that if we're going to do that, we've got to follow through. Okay. So Alex talks about this, and I've talked about this, I think, as well, but you want to create some cash flow up front with whatever this offer is. And then as you bring in that cash, then you can improve things like your team and better tech and anything that's going to make it easier to fulfill these services. So I don't want anyone to think about, oh, I can't do this offer because it's going to be so much work for me and I'll never get out of it. Like everything's hard in the beginning, and then it gets easier and easier and easier. You can add team members, you can teach people how to do it, you can find new tech to make this easier to deliver. So our solutions delivery vehicles, this is an exercise that you only have to do once, but it's a big assignment. Like this is a big, if you thought the problem homework was big, this one's really big. So you're going to think about all the things you could do to solve every problem you've listed. It doesn't mean this is what you will do. So again, this is kind of like the brick exercise where we want to be creative. We want to brainstorm until we've come up with all the best possible solutions and arrangements and delivery methods and come up with an amazing offer. Does that make sense? All right, someone's asking for the workbook link, so I'll just drop that in there as well. There you go. All right, let me know if that makes sense in the chat. So our list, it's going to be, again, don't hold yourself back. Everything that you could possibly do to solve the problem. Now, for every single problem, then we're going to think about the different delivery methods you could offer to solve it. So are we solving it one-on-one? They get me. Is it small group? Is it one-to-many? So when you're thinking about bookkeeping, for example, training could be one-on-one. You could do training in small groups, like maybe you come in and train their team, or it could be a course that you create and it's one-to-many. You have do it yourself. So the client could do it themselves. You have done with you, which means you sit side by side and help them, or done for you, which is obviously going to be the most expensive. You do all the work. How are you going to support it? Are you going to offer phone, email, text, Loom, Voxer? I mean, and I put et cetera because there's so many different ways that you could do this, right? So thinking it through, that's going to be part of your offer. How do you want to offer support? How are they going to consume things that you give them? Are you going to give them written documents? Are you going to give them videos? I recommend video, by the way. So I think this is a huge thing that a lot of bookkeepers don't necessarily offer, but when they do, it blows people's minds. And that's having a video, maybe it's a monthly video where you go through their financial statements. Maybe you ask them your questions. Maybe you talk through things. Maybe you tell them, hey, here's what's working, here's what's not working, or hey, this expense was really high this month. But just giving them that sort of analysis via a video can be huge, because I think a lot of times our clients are not numbers people. And so it helps them to see and hear it at the same time. So it could be audio, it could be live. And then speed and convenience, which this one ties in. I mean, we've already kind of talked about speed and convenience, but like, how quickly should they expect a response from you? Or how quickly are you going to deliver? How easy is it going to be? And then the last one he does is kind of just a mental exercise. If you took your offer and you were going to charge 10 times the amount, what would you add to your offer to make it worth that? So I think that's just an exercise that he has for you to think through, like, okay, what would be the first class offer if I was going to offer it? And then he also says, all right, what if it was going to be a 10th of the price and you still had to deliver immense value? Then what would you do, right? I'm just going to turn this off for you because now I know how. Okay. Does that make sense? Sorry for all the distractions today. On our big day 4 too. At least it wasn't yesterday. All right. So remember, you're going to solve every single problem, because sometimes it's just one silly thing that becomes the reason that someone says no, and it might not even be a real problem. Like, it might have been something that you were totally happy or willing to offer if you had just known that that's what they needed. So once you've done that, so again, part of today's is hard because we haven't gone through the solutions, but once you've gone through that, then what you're going to do is you're going to rank your solutions. So which solutions are high cost and low value? Which ones are low cost and low value? And that means cost to you to provide the service versus value that you're providing to your clients. At the end of the day, we want to find the solutions that are low cost and high value. And that's where we want to focus. That's what we want to put into our offer. So remember our value equation. We've got the dream outcome, probably to make more money. If they're in business, that's usually what they're here to do. We want to make them feel like they are likely to succeed. We want to show them that it's going to be low effort and sacrifice on their part, and we want to give them a low time delay. So here's the steps that you're going to go through. So again, you've already done your dream outcome. You've already listed all the problems and obstacles. There is a ghost in here. Then you're on step 3 for your homework. You're going to list each problem as a solution, and then you're going to think through all the different ways that you could deliver that same solution, right? Because there's more than one way to do everything. Then you're going to pick out the pieces that are the highest value and lowest cost. And then now it's time to make it sound good. All right. So for naming your bundles, he says for every high value solution, and by the way, I don't want anyone to panic because I'm going to show you the cheat code for this in just a minute, assuming I can figure out how to get Kartra to let me screen share after this. I'm going to show you, I basically found a tool that did it for me. So here's the big picture, and then I'm gonna walk you through an easier way to do it. So Carl says, is the low cost high value on our end or the client end? So it's low cost for you to deliver, but provides high value to the client. That's what we want. Something that you could fulfill easily, but adds a lot of value to them. Okay. So for every high value solution that's going to be part of your offer, you're going to basically write out the problem and write out the solution, which you did, right? That's going to be your homework. Then you're going to come up with a sexier name for the bundle, as he put it. And then we're going to talk about the actual delivery vehicle, so how you're going to deliver that. And again, we're going to go into examples. So let's say their problem is cash flow. I'm sure a lot of you guys have clients who their problem is cash flow. So the solution that you might be offering is, okay, I'm going to show them how they can improve their cash flow fast and easy or whatever. That was the best I could come up with because I'm not creative. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys a link really quick. Let me grab it. It's in the workbook. If you guys I won't tell you what page, just knowing that pages have changed for some of you. So I'm going to just grab the link and put it in here. It is an affiliate link because I asked the guy yesterday, I was like, man, if I'm going to show people, I might as well, if they have an affiliate link, I might as well ask for one. So it's a free 3-day trial, and then they charge $97 one time if you want to use it. So it's basically ChatGPT, but it's already been taught how to do Alex Hermosi's stuff. So, oh, Brenda says, I have Copy Coach. So I love it. Yeah, so it has Alex Hermosi listed as a coach, and then you just tell it, like, you fill in the prompts and then it spits out the stuff. So here was the prompt that I gave it. I said, to cut the time it takes to collect on an outstanding receivable in half while improving overall customer satisfaction. Like I gave it some things I was trying to make sound better. And then it spit out like, okay, here's bundle number 1. It named it for me, and then it gave me a list of delivery vehicles. So it named it the Quick Cash Recovery System that'll reduce collection time by 50% while maintaining customer relationships. And it put a value in there for me. Carl says, is that an app as well? So what's interesting is they're on Kartra, and you log into it like a Kartra course. Here, I'll show you it. I will show you it in just a second. So then it spits out the delivery vehicle. So like you could do a one-on-one consultation to understand your current collection process and challenges, which by the way, I've done this with clients. I just didn't think that it was fancy. Like I didn't think of a fancy way to say it. Like I didn't, you know what I mean? It was just sort of built into the things that we do for people. Tailored one-on-one training on effective and customer-friendly collection communication techniques. Like that could be as simple as finding like a book or a mini course or something for them. DIY resource pack with templates and guides for collection letters and emails. By the way, ChatGPT could write the collection letters and emails for you, and then you could present them to your clients so that's what it's talking about, where that's a low cost to you. You create it one time, and then every single client you have after that, you have this cute little bundle of like, here's the collection letters, and here's this quick little training on how to send them, when to send them, or whatever. Automated reminder system for tracking and managing outstanding receivables done for you. Hello, QuickBooks. Like we literally already can program all of this in QuickBooks. And then maybe you add access to a group workshop on how to create and implement a streamlined collection process. But by the way, you could pick and choose. Like you don't have to use what it spits out, but it's giving you ideas. Does that make sense? What do you guys think so far? Okay, so then it spits out more. So that was just bundle 1. Bundle 2, a customer-first collection strategy that'll retain customer satisfaction while ensuring timely payment. One-on-one coaching on negotiation skills for effective collection. So like if they have a team member who's doing this, writing up a script for how to talk to, like, yes, it's not bookkeeping, but these are things that we probably have done or can do, right? If we wanted to, or you scratch that one and you don't use it if it doesn't make sense for you. But again, it's like, here's a guide, here's a webinar, personalized receivable management software training. Like, yeah, we could do that. We could teach them how to handle the AR in QuickBooks and how to run the reports and whatever it might be. Bundle number 3, fast track receivables automation system that'll cut the collection time in half without human intervention. What? So one-on-one software setup and customization consultation. We could all do that, right? We could all set up QuickBooks for them, or even an outside AR if that's what you're using or whatever, and give them a consultation on how to use it. Group training on how to use the automation tools for receivables management. I mean, that's just a fancy way of saying QuickBooks training for AR, right? DIY guide on setting up automated collection reminders and follow-ups. Again, you can set that up in QuickBooks, but now it's a DIY guide when you write it down for them and like give them as a tool. Does this make sense? I saw this and I got excited because I was like, this is crazy. Why have I never, these are things that we do all the time. And I just never thought about it, or never thought about how could I say that in a more valuable way or make it sound better. I want to make sure, what do you guys think? I'm so using this for my week 4 offer and bootcamp. Yeah, like, is this resonating? I want to make sure that this makes sense, and because I'm like, it blew my mind, like seeing that it could just do it for me, and then I could pick and choose. But it's getting the ideas going for me of like, oh wow, like, can you see how this is so much better than I will reconcile your accounts for you. I will enter up to 100 transactions, includes 3 bank accounts, like. You know what I mean? Okay, someone asked for the link again, so I'm sharing that. Okay. Yeah, see, I had to put an emoji in because I was like, whoa, this is totally different than what I've seen anybody else doing in the bookkeeping field. So then Alex goes further, and we're going to basically talk about these 5 levers, but it actually happens in the app that I shared with you. So again, I'm going to finish walking through the slides, and then we can jump into the app if it'll let me, and I will show you what it's talking about. But so there's 5 levers now to enhance your offer and make it even better. So scarcity, urgency, bonuses, guarantees, and naming. You have all been exposed to all of these every single day on Facebook. Every single day. And Shannon, the link is actually in the handbook that's already been shared. You have it in the workbook. So this one's pretty easy in a service-based business to have scarcity. You don't have to lie because you literally only have so much time in a day, so you can only serve so many people. So typically when you're talking about scarcity, there's, I can only onboard one client this week, or we only have room for, 2 new clients in our special offer, or whatever it might be, or never available again. Sometimes that works too, where you're like, hey, we're doing this one time. We may or may not offer it in the future if it's like a workshop or something. All right, urgency. As far as bookkeeping goes, I use this one all the time. So the first one was Alex's example, like, I can get you in the next cohort. But something that makes more sense for us, I think, is like, hey, if you sign up today and get me your statements by Thursday, then I have time on my schedule to complete your catch-up next week. Otherwise, the next availability for a project this size is, and you give them a later date. So if time matters to them, they're going to hurry up and sign, and they're going to get you their stuff, because otherwise you're letting them know, hey, I'm not going to look at your stuff for weeks if you don't get it to me when I need it. You can also offer pricing-based urgency. So, let's get started today so you can take advantage of this discount that we're currently offering on this new offer, whatever it might be. All right, bonuses. Okay, I have never added a bonus for a bookkeeping offer before, but I've never truly made good offers either. So I'm like, this is interesting. So we've all seen it. But wait, there's more. And yet you might think like, that's ridiculous. And then the weird part though is it works. And I mean, this is coming from a guy who's made $100 million online. He knows that, but wait, there's more works. So basically what you do with your offer is you establish the price up front, and then you keep expanding upon it until it's like such a good deal that it'd be stupid for them to say no. So you're increasing the value instead of cutting the price. And he has an entire chapter on bonuses. I'm just going to touch on them lightly because I think that, well, for me personally, trying to think through how do we do this is a little different. But basically what you do is you make the offer. And if they say no, we want to find out what their obstacle is to that. And then you add on a bonus that addresses their perceived obstacle, and then you ask them again. So like if we have a client and I don't know, I'm trying to even think. So again, this is where I'm not the most creative person either. So I'm like, oh my gosh, how do you add a bonus? So that's why I have to use the Copy Coached app and be like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What are bonuses I could add? And we could use ChatGPT as well to come up with even more bonuses. Heather says, well, 60-day bookkeeper, that was easier. She says, I had to say your bonus offer for 60-day bookkeeper is what sold me. Template Vault did it for me. I mean, you could offer a template vault or something. It depends on what their obstacles are to saying yes to working with you. So I was trying to think on the fly of what, like if there's ever been anything that I can think of, because I typically do the diagnostic review and like a 15-minute call, I've never really had anyone push back that I can think of. And so that's why I'm having a hard time, I think, coming up with what obstacle I would address. But I just want to put this out there, and we'll just keep getting better and better until we figure it out, unless if anybody in the chat has any ideas for what kind of bonuses you could add. Now, if you're doing like, let's say I was talking about like the cash flow offer, like you have this like, hey, in 90 days, we're going to stop your cash flow leaks, and you have the deliverables. And then if they're like, oh, well, that sounds great, but, I'm not comfortable calling my clients and asking them to pay faster, then the bonus could be something like, oh, don't worry, I'll throw in our perfect collection call script that makes your clients feel happy you called, or something like that. Does that make sense? Candace says, if it's cost, would you give a discount? I'm not big on discounts, honestly. And like Alex says, that's cutting the price instead of adding more value. So the only thing that I ever do is I offer them, hey, I'll give you a lifetime, it used to be 50% off, but now what is it, 30% off? Like, hey, I will lock in a lifetime 30% discount on your QuickBooks Online subscription. Intuit offers it to me. I'll pass the whole thing on to you for as long as you're my client. Like, that's the only time I've ever offered like a discount. Oh, there you go. So monthly KPIs for their industry benchmarks that show where they're at. Yeah, like there's all kinds of things you could add once you know what their obstacle is. And the more you do it, the better you're going to get. Okay, so ideas that, and again, I'm still my question marks because even I was like, let me think through. Checklist, tools, swipe file, scripts, templates, dashboard. I think a dashboard would be really cool. Like a monthly dashboard that you can like put the data in and it like they can customize it and update it. I think that would be cool. Oh, this would be a good one. A VIP day or an implementation day. So if they're like, wow, this all sounds really good, but I'm so busy, I don't think I have time to do all the things that we need to do to get you set up, then you might offer like, oh, don't worry, I'm going to come in. I would have to be local, or maybe do a Zoom one, but we're going to do a VIP day. I'm going to hold your hand and we're going to get it done. Whoever, someone has my name, but it says this seems very salesy. So, right? Like you are here to sell your services. You are here to sell your services. It may feel salesy to you, but people on the other side seeing it, and when they have a problem and they're seeing that you're addressing exactly what they want, and you've added all these things to help make it easier for them, like it doesn't feel salesy on that side. Personal tax filing add-on for a big discount. Yeah, I mean, you could, but again, I don't focus on adding discounts. I focus on just continuing to layer on the value. Carl says, what are swipe files? So people call them like swipe files, like you can swipe whatever templates I have, whatever, email, like email templates, for example. I see email swipe files all the time. So emails that I've sent over and over and over again that you would need to in your bookkeeping business, that would be an example. Heather says, there's always a pitch. We have to have one or we stay where we are. Yeah, exactly. Like you are here to learn how to sell what you're doing better. That's part of it. Like you have to make the offer. Other bonuses, training for their team. So again, you could say, normally I charge $1,000 for this, but if you buy today, we'll add that bonus in for free. And you don't have to say it as like, if you buy today, right? But you could be like, hey, right now we've got some capacity, so we'd be happy to train your team. We normally charge $1,000 for this, but we really want to work with you. Tight says, I think it's only salesy when you sell what they don't want or need. Yeah, it's a difference between focusing on their perceived issues. Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, even at the end of the day, too, I think we worry so much about like, being salesy or being pushy. And like, if people don't like it, they'll tell you no. But if you don't ever make the offer, they can never tell you yes. You could offer, this one, free entity setup or tax consultation. So I've seen this in other things. You can partner with firms that do like the entity setup stuff, which personally, like Idaho's so easy. I never understood it. And then I see like other states are really complicated for setting up an entity, choosing the right entity type, all of that. So I have actually seen like other offers where they say, hey, they refer them, they have a certain person that they work with, and that person says, hey, I'll give your clients a free consultation. We'll do this, this, and this. And then if they want to buy their services, they can. But you could do the same with a tax consultation. Like if you have someone that you want to partner with who's good at tax strategy, you could say, hey, I want you to offer a 1-hour tax consultation to my clients. And then in return, right, when that person needs taxes, who do you think they're going to work with? And then the other thing, maybe a quarterly planning session. So again, these were just my brainstorms. I'm sure you guys have stuff. So Heather says, I offer entity setup LLC filing for clients. Never thought to throw it in as a bonus. Yeah, exactly. You all do so much stuff already. We just don't put it in a very silly way. Like, and I mean, we don't put it in a way that's very sexy, like a sexy offer. Like, oh man, people see that and they go, why have I not been doing that? Right? That's how I feel anyway. Does this make sense? I want to make sure that it's making sense for you guys. Okay, something else I've never considered adding for bookkeeping, a guarantee. Do any of you offer a guarantee to your clients that you explicitly state? Let me know in the chat. Does anyone offer a guarantee? Makes sense, perfect. Does anyone offer a guarantee to their clients? So there's 4 types of guarantees that Alex talks about. And again, he has huge chapters on these, and I'm summarizing it down to like a couple slides. Okay, so no, I've not. Me either. Never even considered it. So you could offer a conditional guarantee, which is going to include terms and conditions. You could offer an unconditional guarantee. I've seen bench accounting do this. So try for free and see if you like it when they offer like free 30 days. I wouldn't go that route personally, but they have an anti-guarantee. All sales are final. I think this is what most bookkeepers do. They don't even say it, but like most service-based businesses are like, oh, but I did the work, and it doesn't care at all about your outcome or whether they delivered or anything like that. And then there's implied guarantees, like if I don't perform, I don't get paid. So I think the one that makes the most sense for us is a conditional guarantee, because we can't do stuff until they give us like statements or whatever it might be. So one that I kind of liked was, if at any point you're unhappy with our service, we will let you out of your contract free of charge, hand over your QBO file, and even help onboard your next bookkeeper to make the transition as painless as possible for you. How many of you hear that and you think, wow, like to me, that would make me feel more comfortable to work with someone knowing like this has been a huge issue for clients, their bookkeeper hanging on to their QuickBooks file and not handing it over to the next bookkeeper for whatever reason. Now, I think the guarantee would be great. Remember too that I always say get paid in advance. So we don't want it to be something where they haven't paid us and then we're going to no. Get paid in advance, but if they're not happy, then hey, that's cool. We will let you out of the contract and we're going to help you transition. This makes people feel better, right? Audrey says, I have an implied guarantee for cleanups. They charge 50%, then the rest upon completion. So I think that would be an implied guarantee if you said something like, we'll only charge the other 50% after you've had a chance to look over the work that we've done and make sure you're happy, right? Okay, yes. Wait, hold on, Christy. I would do that, but it's probably good to tell them. Yeah, exactly. Putting it in writing and actually saying it, now they can see the value. They can't see the value if you don't tell them. Okay, something else I thought was like, I was like, oh, I'd like to know how to be this person to deliver this. And I think it would depend maybe on industry, but we won't bill you again until after we found you enough cost savings to cover our monthly services. Like, the reason I wrote that is because I was thinking one of the things that would be cool to offer, which again, we do this already as bookkeepers, but I think it'd be cool to offer something that was like an expense audit where we'll go through, we'll find redundant expenses, we'll find things you're overpaying for, things that percentage-wise don't make sense and you need to find some ways to cut them or whatever. Because a lot of times I find my clients a ton of monthly savings, like subscriptions that they've forgotten about that they're just paying over and over again, or employees who were charging personal stuff on the credit card or charging things they shouldn't have. We put in a policy, cut all that, wasted spending. So that's one that I think would be really cool. I'm not personally confident enough yet, but I was like, I want to put this out there because somebody else might have some ideas for how to do that. Or if you have something like, if you have a very specific niche and you know that they could get the R&D tax credit and save thousands of dollars, then you know that you already have this, right? So like a tax person, this would be an amazing one for. All right, and then finally naming your offer. So our last lever, I think. So he has what he calls the magic formula. We want to make a magnetic reason. We're going to announce the avatar. So in other words, call out who they are. We're going to give them a goal, indicate a time interval, and then complete it with a container word. And don't worry, this is in Copy Coach. Like, it'll do this for you. But I'm going to go through what they are. So the magnetic reason why answers the why are they making this offer question. So I don't think this is super magnetic. Like, I don't totally get this, but, back to school or because of new management or Black Friday. I think this is something that someone like Alex uses because they are running Facebook ads. And so they've kind of like got to stand out in all that noise. I don't know if, and maybe we do though. Maybe we have like a post-tax season something, again, I am not the most creative person. I have to cheat and use tools to help me, but we could think about reasons of like why we're making this offer. So you want to put that in. Announce the avatar. So, brick and mortar businesses, you guys have already done this exercise, right? Salon owners, retired athletes, whoever it might be. If it's local, put in, Denver brick and mortar businesses. I don't know. Jessica says tax deadlines, like early bird sales. Yeah, like you could think of, I bet there's some really cutesy names that ChatGPT could spit out for like post-tax season stress, just, I don't know, like something. It'll come up with something cute. Give them a goal. So it can be a word or a phrase that articulates their dream outcome. So pain-free or 100K or double your profit. And again, I'm going to give you the slides and these are all going to make more sense when we see examples. Interval, let them know the duration to expect. Something a lot of us don't do. as bookkeepers, we have duration. Like, we know how long projects are going to take. And again, we always give the caveat, right, of as soon as you sign and get me X, Y, and Z that I need. But like, once we have all that, we know the duration. Like, we can set expectations with our clients. And a lot of times I think we don't. How many of you who are watching are guilty of not giving your client a clear upfront deadline, like timeline? Because I know it's a pretty common problem. All right, and then completing it with a container word. And again, if you guys are on Facebook, you've seen all of these. They've been thrown in your face over and over and over again by all these other industries, but not by bookkeepers, right? Challenge, blueprint, intensive, deep dive, solution. So the last three kind of make more sense to me, but even blueprint, I feel like we could find a way to use. Guilty, yeah. Okay, so naming your offer. Okay, the first one was me. All right, I was like, ooh, fix your profit leaks in 30 days. I was like thinking of these construction clients and people I've worked with where money's just going out the door because they have no internal controls, no processes, nothing. The rest of these came from Copy Coach, which is, they're all better. So 7-day fast track to flawless financials, exclusive offer for small business owners, 90-day profit maximizing blueprint, ideal for e-commerce entrepreneurs, 3-month bookkeeping masterclass tailored for freelancers and solopreneurs, financial freedom in 60 days, perfect for startup founders, the ultimate 12-week bookkeeping boot camp designed for nonprofits. Like, does that make sense? I see these and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, especially this one, the 90-day profit maximizing blueprint, ideal for, and then calling out your ideal client. Who likes these? Who thinks these are good? I think they're good, but I want to make sure I'm not the only one. Like, what do you guys think? I never thought to put bookkeeping services in this kind of format before, right? I never thought to do it. And I know that this is hard sometimes for people to be like, oh my gosh, to see yourself as selling something. But again, we're always selling something. We're just finally making it sound attractive. All right, I like these, love these, great, these sound amazing. Okay, awesome. All right, so we talked about, okay, so you're gonna have to now take all of those problems that you listed, write out a solution for every single one. Don't cheat, don't skip any. He tells you to do every single one, so do every single one to get your brain going. Then trim and stack. Which ones are high value, low cost for you, or at least lower cost, right? And then use the 5 levers for your offer. But instead of that, I would say use Copy Coached. And let me see, I'm going to see if there's a way for me to share my screen. Because honestly, turn screen share on, and I have Copy Coached open. Okay, when I do this, I'm not going to be able to see, I don't think. Let me see. Oh, can you guys see my screen? I can't see you. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, yes, I see it. Okay, so if you sign up for Copy Coach, like I said, they have a free 3-day trial. And then if you cancel before that, you haven't paid anything, but otherwise it's $97 and it's like a one-time thing. And you can tell it's in Kartra. So under coaches, by the way, they have a whole bunch of others. So the power offer with Joel Orway, which is what I teach in the course, you could use this to do that. But if we go to Alex Hermosi, we have the dream outcome. So if you wanted to use this for this, so we are, bookkeeping for, how about let's do bookkeeping and cash flow analysis. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up for contractors. Actually, I'm going to go flooring subcontractors. I'm just going to get really specific and see what it spits out. Okay. So it's a little bit weird with some of it, but increase in profitability, seamless financial management. I would say, yeah, those are things they want. Stress-free tax season, improved cash flow. And you can mess with these. So basically what I think they're doing is I think they're using ChatGPT, but they've already trained it. For those of you who are in Alyssa Dillon's challenge, she shows you like you have to train ChatGPT to come up with the answers that you like in your voice and what you're looking for. And so I think that that's what they've done is they've already programmed it so it knows how to spit things out in the right format. So after you do your dream outcome, you can copy it and you can come paste it down here. So maximize profitability. I'm just going to throw in an easy one for their contracting business. And again, you might have to add more stuff, right? Because it's not detailed enough. So I included my prompts in the workbook. But again, then it's going to give you all these bundles with all these different Alex Hormozy style vehicles for delivering them. And then it has the magic headline. So I'm going to leave this so I can come see where you guys are at. Okay. Ed, the AI copy coach, looks like the Keeper app guy. Yeah. I don't know why. Like, I don't know. It's weird. But okay. So did that make sense? So that tool is there if you want to try it and use it. And I can keep adding as we go. If you guys want to share the prompts that you use and what's working well and what's not working well or whatever, you can see in the workbook, I think I put an example prompt. So it's under day 4 bonus Grand Slam offer cheat code in the workbook. And I gave you my affiliate code for Copy Coached. And then I told you where to go in there. And I gave you my example prompts and then what it spit out for me. So, all right, let me turn this back. We'll go back to, sorry for those of you who got added, added without meaning to. Oops, oops, I'm bad at buttons. Hold on. Let's go back in here. So again, so we went through that. We've got Copy Coach to help. So your homework for today is to create your solutions list and then come up with a name for your offer, like come up with your offer stack. And I think that's all I've got for you guys for today. And then tomorrow we've got the challenge wrap up. And we have 494 members. So we're going to do a $494 grand prize. I say prize winner announced. I guess I probably won't be ready to announce it in the morning because I want to give, well, maybe I will. I want to make sure everyone gets a chance to do their homework. Nikki said, can you please share the workbooks again? I copied it. Oh, like you downloaded it. That makes sense. Let me share that here. Okay. So good. So much info. Awesome. I'm glad this was helpful. Sorry for, again, all the tech stuff really threw me in the beginning. I'm like, I'm going to have to let Kartra know that they've got a serious bug. Like, that was so weird. So at least it was all our people and it wasn't like, I don't know, something else. All right. Any questions for today, you guys? I like that I'm complimenting myself. Super awesome. I'm just kidding. Can you put your name, whoever's showing up as Robin Buckaloo? why it picked you to have that login? I'm looking forward to using this later. Oh, it's Heather and Crystal. Yeah, so weird. I have no idea why. All right, I hope that this was all helpful. I hope that this tied everything together. And again, if you haven't done yesterday's homework, there's a lot of work to do. So yeah, make sure you do that, but it's worth it. And again, I could probably share, I'm working on mine. If you guys are all open to it, I think it'd be kind of cool to take all of our homework, like all the problems and all the solutions and make like a huge spreadsheet with just all of them in there. So that way then like for future offers or future people, you can kind of just go through and have that giant list to pick and choose from to put something together. Would you guys think that would be something worth doing? Because I can definitely share the start to mine and then, yeah, and then that'd be a useful tool for people later, I think. Along with a list of niches. Yeah, and I actually, so when I started my homework, I actually put what niche I was talking about because not all of the problems relate to every niche. That'd be amazing. I mean, okay, so here's what I'll do is I will make mine share. I'm going to share this right now. And then everybody, you kind of have a start because I didn't actually finish. I just started doing the solutions and brainstorming. Because again, I am just like you where I thought until this challenge, I thought that I was doing this stuff and then like having to actually put it into slides and lead people through it. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much more in here that I still haven't done or haven't. So mine's still a work in progress too. Okay, does everyone see I shared the Google Doc in there? I will also add it to the workbook. So I'm just going to add it. Let me see. Day 4 homework. And I'll just call this like Jenny's problem template. Oh, hey, come back. And it's funny that you have to click the little button to make it a link, even though it's definitely a link. But okay. All right. Got it. Awesome. All right. Any other questions? Questions or anything you want to go over? I never even thought to use ChatGPT for any of this. Total game changer. Yeah, especially when you struggle with like creativity. And I actually struggled. I wasn't even creative enough for ChatGPT to work for me. Like I had a heck of a time. So this copy coached thing, I'm like, ooh, this one's a little better because somebody else already did all that hard work of programming it. And so I'm like, that was so cool when it just busted out the offers for me. So I really enjoyed it. I hope this was helpful. It doesn't look like I'm not seeing any other questions. I'm peeking in the Q&A. So if there's no more questions, we'll go ahead and wrap it up for today. But again, $494 grand prize winner. Most people never finish a challenge. So finish. It's only a 5-day challenge. Really, it's only 4, right? Because tomorrow is just, like announcing and wrapping it up. So you have really good odds, right? So yeah. Finish your homework, get those submitted, knowing that on tomorrow, I'm going to be looking to make sure everything is in, and we're going to pick a winner. So, all right. Anything else? Any other questions? Just want to make sure. All right. I don't see any other questions. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great day.